Why did logistics often fail Vietnam War offensives? Imagine trying to run a marathon while navigating a maze of thick jungle and narrow trails. That's similar to what military logistics faced during the Vietnam War. Supplying troops in such tough terrain was a huge challenge. The dense jungle, poor roads, and long supply routes made moving food, ammunition, and fuel difficult. The enemy, especially the North Vietnamese and Viet Cong, knew this well. They used secret routes like the Ho Chi Minh Trail through Laos and Cambodia, which were hard for U.S. and South Vietnamese forces to stop without risking a bigger conflict with China or the Soviet Union. One big problem was coordination. During the Tet Offensive, North Vietnamese leaders thought they could surprise the enemy, but they underestimated how mobile and well-armed U.S. and South Vietnamese troops were. Their plan involved attacking many targets at once, spreading their forces thin. This made it hard to supply and reinforce their troops properly. When supplies ran low, their attacks lost steam, and they couldn't keep up the fight. The Easter Offensive showed how resupplying under heavy air attacks was tough. The North Vietnamese tried to bring in supplies by air, but constant enemy fire and bad weather made it hard to deliver enough. Even though thousands of air missions delivered tons of supplies, many were lost or delayed, which hurt the fighting ability of their troops. South Vietnamese forces also struggled with logistics. They relied heavily on U.S. aid, but poor planning and leadership issues caused problems. During operations like Lam Son 719, bad decisions and weak command meant they couldn't keep their gains or hold territory. Despite the U.S. providing lots of supplies and support, South Vietnamese troops often couldn't use them effectively because of leadership gaps and the difficult environment. The United States improved its logistics over time with better communication, transportation, and tracking systems. Still, enemy attacks on supply depots and the need to store large amounts of fuel and ammunition in open areas kept risks high. Balancing the need for supplies with enemy threats was a constant struggle. In the end, logistics failed in many Vietnam War offensives because of the tough terrain and long supply lines that enemies could easily attack. Dispersed plans made it hard to concentrate forces and supplies. Enemy air and artillery attacks disrupted supply routes and destroyed stockpiles. Leadership issues and over-reliance on U.S. help also played a part. All these factors made it hard for offensives to succeed and shaped the course of many major campaigns.